Hi students, very good morning. Today we are going to deal with respect to quantum numbers, right? The first quantum number is principal quantum number, okay? And principal quantum number, it is denoted with small n. It is denoted with small n and it was proposed by the scientist Bohr. Bohr is the scientist who has given the quantum number n. Okay, the n indicates the shell or orbit number, okay? What is the importance of n means? It indicates the shell number. Suppose if any orbit, this is the center of the nucleus, center of the atom, that is nucleus, the first one, it is orbit, n is equal to 1, means it is indicating the orbit number or shell number. Second one, if it n is equal to 2 means it is the next orbit. So he has given first, second, third orbit, fourth orbit, fifth orbit and so on. And he has given some alphabets like K, L, M, N, O and so on, right? So n indicates the shell number or the orbit number. And he says that if we move away from the nucleus, means if you are going from center of the atom to the away from the nucleus, what happens to the size? The size of the orbit goes on increasing. Okay? If you move away from the nucleus, the size of the orbit goes on increasing. And what he says is, greater the value of n. If n value goes on increasing, the energy of the orbit also goes on increasing. Okay? Already you have calculated energy. First one is minus 13.6 electron volts. Second one you will be getting something like minus 3.4 something electron volts. Means as you are moving away from the nucleus, the orbit energy goes on increasing. Okay? Energy value you will be calculating by using this formula. Z is equal to here atomic number and n is the shell number. Okay, right? Okay, next it is the another quantum number. So one thing, what you can calculate by using n? What you can calculate by using the principal quantum number? By using principal quantum number, you can calculate, okay, see, based on n you can calculate energy. Based on n you can calculate radius. Radius means by using radius you can calculate the volume of an atom, right? So you can calculate the size. Size and the energy of an orbit can be calculated by using the principal quantum number. Again I am repeating, size as well as the energy of an orbit can be calculated by using principal quantum number. Next it is azimuthal quantum number, right? And this azimuthal quantum number is indicated with the symbol L and it was proposed by Sommerfeld. This azimuthal quantum numbers, it gives the information with respect to the shape of the orbital. What is meant by orbital? Orbital means the place where the probability of finding of an electron is maximum. Okay? And what is meant by node? Node means the place where the probability of finding of an electron is 0 is called node. See, again I am repeating. The probability of finding of an electron where it is maximum, it is called as orbital. The probability of finding of an electron where there is 0 probability, means you cannot find the electron there, that place is called as node. By using the azimuthal quantum number, you can calculate the shape of the orbital, right? If L is equal to, L takes the value from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, etc. Then he has given some symbols. If L is equal to 0, then it is indicated with S. If L is equal to 1, it is indicated with P. If L is equal to 2, it is indicated with D. And if L is equal to 3, it is indicated with F. L is equal to 4, it is Z, and so on. And for the S1, means for this one, he has given a shape, right? If it is S, it is spherical in shape. If it is P, it is dumbbell in shape. If it is D, it is double dumbbell. Means the shape of P orbital will be like this. Dumbbell. This one, double dumbbell. And if it is complicated, 8-fold structure it is called as. But nowhere you can see that one. Okay, it is highly complex. Till now they have not said. So these are called subshells. Right? N, by using N, you can say the shells means shell or orbit or one thing. S, P, D, F are called as subshells. Okay? S, P, D, F are called as subshells. Again, S subshell consists of 1 orbital. P subshell consists of 3 orbitals. D subshell consists of 5 orbitals. F subshell consists of 7 orbitals. Okay? This entire P it is called as subshell. And in P subshell, you will be having 3 orbitals. In D subshell, 5 orbitals. In F subshell, it is 7 orbitals. In S subshell, it is only 1 orbital. Right? Number of subshells in a shell. Shell means orbit. Okay, number of subshells in a shell is equal to n. If n is equal to 1, the number of subshells is equal to 1. Only s will be present. If the n value is equal to 2, then number of subshells will be equal to 2. Okay, how you can say 2 means S as well as S subshell as well as P subshell will be present in the second orbit. If n value is equal to 3, you will be having number of subshells is equal to 3. Okay, number of subshells is equal to 3 means you will be having 3 subshells. Those 3 are S, P, D, right? And the orbital angular momentum of an electron has been given with formula h by 2 pi root of L into L plus 1. This is the angular momentum. Already you have learned with respect to Bohr angular momentum, and he is asking the orbital angular momentum. With respect to orbital angular momentum, it is h by 2 pi root of L into L plus 1. Okay, already I have said n is equal to 1 means how many subshells will be having? L value will be equal to 0. The subshell name is S. If n is equal to 2, number of subshells will be equal to 2. That is 0 and 1. 0 means S, 1 means P. See, 2 are there, here also 2 are there. Okay. If n is equal to 3, 0, 1, 2 subshells will be present. Those are S, P, D. If n is equal to 4, the subshells are 0, 1, 2, 3, and the values and the subshell names are S, P, D, F. Okay. L value will be equal to 1 and greater than 1, but less than or equal to n minus 1. Okay, the value of L lies between this one. Okay, this is the thing. Let us take one question with respect to that one. The question is, find the orbital angular momentum of an electron in 3p subshell. N is equal to 3p means he is asking orbital angular momentum. The formula is h by 2 pi root of L into L plus 1. He is saying for 3p, n is equal to 3, okay, p is equal to, that is sp, right, L value will be equal to 1, h by 2 pi root of L into L plus 1, L value is equal to 1, 1 into 1 plus 1, that is 2 into 1, that is root 2, you will be getting 2 root 2 h by 2 pi, okay, or h by root 2 pi, that's the answer. Find the orbital angular momentum of an electron in S subshell. S means L value will be equal to 0. So 0 into 0 plus 1, it will be equal to again root 0, h by 2 pi into root 0, again the value will be equal to 0. That's the information what we can obtain by using azimuthal quantum number. Next quantum number is magnetic quantum number. Magnetic quantum number is indicated with the symbol small m, and it was proposed by Mr. Lande. Okay, it gives the information regarding the number of orbitals and the orientation of electron. These are the information given by magnetic quantum number. It gives the information with respect to number of orbitals as well as the orientation of the electron. Suppose if I say L value is equal to 0, it is S, L value is equal to 1, it is P, L value is equal to 2, it is D, and L value is equal to 3, it is F. Okay. Then M value, if S is equal to 0, M value will be equal to 0. If P is equal to 1, M value will be equal to 3 values, because P again consists of 3 orbitals, right? S consists of 1 orbital, P consists of 3 orbitals, D consists of 5 orbitals, F consists of 7 orbitals. Means from where the value of M is lying, means the value of M lies between minus L to plus L. See, minus L, for 0 you can't write minus or plus 0, same thing. Here it is 1. So the lies between minus 1, 0 and plus 1. Okay, here 2. The value lies between minus L to plus L. Minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. If it is 3, it is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2, and plus 3. So the number of orbitals in a shell, see how many are there. You can calculate by using the formula 2L plus 1. Okay, already I have said that the value of M lies in between this one, minus L to plus L, and the number of values, it is equal to 2L plus 1. Suppose take example, if I ask D, how many values you are getting here? You are getting 5, right? Count here. See, minus 2 is one value, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. You are getting 5. If you want to calculate how many values you will get for D, means you keep this value here. 2 into 2 plus 1. So it is 2 to the 4 plus 1, 5. So number of values you will be getting 2L plus 1. From where the value of M lies, means it is minus L to plus L. So by using magnetic quantum number, you can find the orientation of electron and the number of orbitals, right? See here, all the things are represented in a single way. N is equal to 1, value of L. it lies between 0 to n minus 1. So in 1 you will be having only s orbital, so it is 0, L value will be equal to 0, and m value will be equal to, this is 1s, will be having 0, only one orbital. If it is 2, okay, 0 as well as 1 will be present, so 0 is s, 1 is p. So m value for 0, this is 0 only. For this one, it is minus 1, 0 plus 1. So how many orbitals are you are having? 3 plus 1 here, 4, totally 4 orbitals are there. Suppose if you go for the next one, SPD 0, 1, 2, 0 means here was 0, here 1 means plus 1, 0, minus 1, 2 means minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. See here how many are there? 5. So 5, here 3, 3, here 1, 1. Okay, for each shell he is writing. Clear? This is the first shell, this is first subshell, orbitals 1. This is second shell. How many subshells are there? 1, 2. 2 subshells are there. How many orbitals are there? 3 plus 1, 4. If I go for the third shell, okay, number of subshells 3 are there. Number of orbitals, how many are there? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Suppose if I take fourth orbit, in fourth orbit how many subshells are there? Means 4 are there. 4 or fourth orbit, 4 subshells. Orbitals here 7, 5, 3, 1. So totally 7, 5, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Totally 16 are there. So instead of calculating like this, we are having directly formulas. Now let us take one question here. How many subshells and orbitals are present in n is equal to 3? If n is equal to 3, he is asking number of subshells. Number of subshells will be equal to the number of shell number only. So it is equal to 3. Number of orbitals. Orbitals how many will be? So it is, he is telling for third, right? So it is 2l plus 1. Number of orbitals he is asking, right? In a subshell. In each subshell how many orbitals are there? Means it is 2l plus 1. Okay. So you take into consideration number of orbitals in a shell. For number of orbitals in a shell, this is, okay, it is equal to n square. So that is third orbital. The third orbit 3 square will be getting 9. If you want, you can count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Orbital, 1 orbital, 3 orbitals, 5 orbitals. So totally 9 orbitals are present, and shell number is, it is 3. Number of orbitals in a subshell. In single subshell he is asking. If for using a single subshell, how many, by using which formula you will be getting? You will be getting 2l plus 1. Question is subshells. How many you will be having in third one? You will be having 3 subshells, right? Okay. In third orbit, you will be having 3 subshells. One is S, P, D. Number of orbitals will be equal to n square. That is 3 square. It is equal to 9. Right? The question is, find the number of orbitals in n is equal to 2. N is equal to 2. You can directly take n square. You will be getting 2 square. It is equal to 4. If you want, you can see here 2s, 2p, here 3, here 1, 4. Next, the other quantum number is spin quantum number. Spin quantum number is indicated with symbol S, and you know that Schrodinger wave equation will give information only regarding 3 quantum numbers, but it will not give information with respect to 1 quantum number. That quantum number which has not been given by Schrodinger is spin quantum number, right? And spin quantum number gives about the rotation of an electron about its own axis. Okay, spin quantum number gives the rotation of an electron about its own axis, and the spin quantum number has been proposed by Mr. Uhlenbeck and Goudsmit. Okay, if the electron rotates in the clockwise direction, they have taken it as plus half, and it is in the opposite direction, it has been taken as minus half. Okay, if it is electron is moving in the clockwise direction, he has taken with one sign. You can take it as either plus half or minus half. Oppositely, another one will be minus half or plus half, right? Simply for notation I am taking, for clockwise it is moving in the plus half, for anti-clockwise it is moving in the minus half direction. So like this 4 quantum numbers have been introduced, right? Apart from this, we are having some principles that is called as Pauli's exclusion principle, Abbo principle, and Hund's rule. Okay, let us take one principle, Pauli's exclusion principle. What does it say? No 2 electrons of the same atom. Within the same atom, no 2 electrons will have all quantum numbers same. Okay, there may be to the maximum extent 3 quantum numbers can be same, but 4 quantum numbers will not be same. At least there will be change in the spin. Okay. What does it say means all the 4 quantum numbers for the same atom, within the same atom, all the 4 quantum numbers will not be same. That is what the Pauli's exclusion principle says. Suppose if I take 1s electron, suppose 1s2 means in first orbital you are having 2 electrons. For this one, for each electron I am writing all the quantum numbers. This is 1s1, this is 1s2. Second electron, not 2 electrons. This is second electron. So 1s1 means n is equal to 1, l is equal to 0, m is equal to s is equal to 0, right? Here 1, n is equal to 1, l is equal to, this is also s orbital, m is equal to 0 only, right? Because this is what depends upon this one. Here 1s1, one electron moves in the clockwise direction, other electron will move in the opposite direction. Okay, if these are different, nothing, you can say all are different, something is different. But if all are same, at least this one will be different. That is what the Pauli's exclusion principle says. No two electrons in the same atom can have all the 4 set of quantum numbers same. Maximum you can have the same 3 quantum numbers. That is what the example I have said. Next question is, find the number of electrons in the second shell. See how the electrons will be present. Second shell he is asking, means in second orbit. In second orbit you will be having 2s orbital as well as 2p 3 orbitals. In 2p you can keep 6 electrons and in 2s you can keep 2 electrons. So totally you will be getting 8 electrons. So 2 into n square you will be getting the number of electrons. Only n square means number of orbitals, 2n square means number of electrons. Right? See here 2s 2p. You will be getting here in this pattern. Here p you will be having 3 orbitals. Here s it is 2 electrons in one orbital. So totally 8 electrons. And remember that students, each orbital can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons. Right? There are some formula with respect to this one. Number of subshells in a shell. Okay, number of, if he asks number of subshells, it is equal to n, shell number itself. Number of orbitals in a shell is equal to n square. Orbitals. Okay, number of orbitals in a subshell, it is equal to 2l plus 1. Number of electrons in an orbit. In orbit, okay, orbital I think, right? Number of electrons in an orbit, okay, it is 2. Orbital students, this is correct to you, this one. Number of electrons in an orbital. Number of electrons in a subshell. In a subshell it is 2 into 2l plus 1. He is asking here electrons. Here orbitals are there. For this if you do twice, 2n square. If you do, you will be getting number of electrons in a shell. In orbitals it is n square. Number of electrons means 2n square. Here you are getting number of orbitals in a subshell. Here number of electrons in a subshell. Means for this if you do double you will be getting. For this if you do double you will be getting this one, and this one is number of subshells, and number of electrons is equal to, in a particular orbit is equal to 2. Right? Question is, find the number of electrons in the fourth shell. Okay, see same formula, electrons in fourth shell, 2 n square, it is 4 square. So it is 2 into 16, it is equal to 32. Find the number of electrons for which n is equal to 2, m is equal to 0 and s is equal to plus half. What is saying? N, L, M, S. He is saying n should be 2. Okay, n is 2. You will be having 2 s and p, 2s, 2p. M should be 0. Here 0 is there, for s it is 0. Here 0 means only here it is 0. So here 2 electrons, here 2 electrons. Okay, totally 4. But he is asking only plus half. So in this 1 is plus half, 1 is minus half, 1 is plus half, 1 is minus half. So from here you will be getting 1 electron, here 1 electron. So totally 2 electrons. I hope that you have understood. This is plus half and minus half. 1 is plus half. So 1 electron. Here also 1 plus half, 1 electron. In 0 only he is asking because the condition is m is equal to 0. Right? Next question. Find the number of electrons for which n is equal to 3 and s is equal to minus half. The same thing. Here, yes, you should be having minus half. Means plus half minus half, you will be getting 1 minus half. Here 3, here 5. So totally, how many you will be getting? What the question? N is equal to 3. N should be equal to 3. Right. And you should be having minus half. Totally you will be getting 8 electrons. Okay students, sorry, 9 electrons. 5, 3, 8, 8 plus 1, 9. So this is the question. Find the number of electrons for which n is equal to 3, m is equal to 1. Okay. In third orbit, you will be having S, P, D. Right. Based on that, see that where the m value gets 1. So the total number of electrons will be equal to 8. This is for today's students. Have a nice day. Practice the problems with respect to quantum numbers which are present in your material. Bye bye.